When you think of platform games, you normally conjure up images of Mario, Sonic, Crash Bandicoot. These have been at the top of the pile for many years within gaming. But Sony introduced us to Astrobot on PSVR2, which was a fantastic VR title and a great platformer. When the new Astrobot was announced, and we didn't have a PSVR2 version or a hybrid mode in the game, a lot of fans were disappointed. But never fear, Max Mustard is here to introduce you into an entirely new character, a new world. Let's see where the adventure takes us. I always like to start with visuals when it comes to reviewing games, and Max Mustard does not disappoint. It's running at a native 90 frames per second in the headset, so it really does run smooth. The colours of this world really are bright and vibrant, and that really comes across within the OLED panels of the PSVR2. This is a great looking game, and you're not going to be disappointed with the quality inside the headset. So who is Max Mustard, and what's the story like? Well, Max is an inventor in the pursuit of an unscrupulous businessman, Stubbins. All in the name of profit, Stubbins is kidnapping baby mudpups from their devastated parents. Facing armies of minions spanning over 40 diabolical challenges, Max is urgently requesting your help to rescue the mudpups. Now I know what you're thinking, that doesn't sound very original. And to be honest, it's not very original. It is a story that has been told many times in different forms across the years. But it's still a good story. It's getting you involved in what Max is doing. Got to take down the bad guy, but this is the kind of thing you want from a platformer. You just need to know your goal and get on with the adventure. What I do find quite original about the story is it introduces us to the mudpups, the creatures that you're rescuing. And to be honest, these are the most adorable things I've ever had an experience of in VR. I mean, look at it. It is absolutely, it's so cute, and you can pet them and they all wriggle. You can't help but smile when seeing and rescuing these mudpups. It does make it worthwhile. Level design can be such an important factor when it comes to platform games. You want difference in environments, you want different obstacles to overcome, and then a good boss battle at the end of the different zones. With Max Mustard, in between each level, you're taken into the back of Max's bus. There's a few things you can interact with. Like you can eat toast, and then you've got the map in front of you showing the progress through the zone, and this is split up into 4 different arcs, and each arc has a different map with different levels in there. Each level has 3 mudpups you need to collect. They are hidden throughout the levels, so you need to always be paying attention and looking around. You can normally hear the mudpups before you see them, but you need to collect as many as possible, because at certain points during the route on the arc you will have to hit a certain amount of mudpups before you can progress further. As you progress, the story is presented to you as well through notes, and these can all be read on the fly back in the bus by opening one of the drawers to your right. Collecting mudpups is not the only thing you're doing during the levels. The main currency is collecting coins, and there's plenty scattered throughout the levels and boxes and crates to unlock. The coins that can be spent in the in-game store. These stores are located on each of the maps. You can backtrack, but you will get to one in each of the zones. The most important thing you need to do after the first level is go to the store and unlock the camera snap. This allows you to turn the camera so you can see to the sides and behind you for certain levels. You really need to get this as soon as possible so you can see those mudpups and get to those hard to reach locations. There's also power-ups which increase your running speed, the duration of your jetpack boost, and then there's different attacks you can unlock, including the skeever slam, which is like a butt slam from the air. The only thing I did notice about that is generally jumping on enemies. Once you get a certain ability, you get more coins from jumping on the heads. The skeever slam, for whatever reason, doesn't count as slamming on the head, which is a little bit disappointing because I would use it more often because it's a really cool looking ability, but you don't get the benefit of jumping on the heads like you do normally. In each of the arc maps, there's also a couple of bonus levels. There's the coin frenzy, where you just go through different obstacles, collecting as many coins as you can, or there's the first person shooting gallery, which In this instance, the first time you play it, you get an extra mud pup, and then subsequent times you can earn additional coins. This is really quite a fun little distraction from the main level as well. One of the things that made Astrobot so memorable was those first-person interactions to help Astro on with his journey. And with Max Mustard, it is a little bit limited in what you can actually do. The only real interaction you get is the plunger gun, which can help take down targets. It's like a minecart level where you can shoot the targets. You've got to destroy the obstacles in Max's way to progress. And then there's this vacuum gun. And as you can see right here, you can just hoover up the different fruits to get extra coins, or there's platforms you've got to interact with to be able to get Max to the next zone. It's something that could have expanded more on. There could be a lot more interactions you could do with this, but as a starting point, it's a good interaction. It is fun, but there's more it could do. Overall, I think Toast Interactive put a lot of care and attention into level design. They have tried to make it as varied as possible, with travelators, disappearing platforms, platforms that change depending on when you jump, and then my favourite standout levels is definitely the beatbox levels with DJ Drop Bear in the house, where in time with the music, the red and blue box change position. And then the Space Adventure one is some levels like this I want more of. I want that ingenious new idea, something you might not have seen before, or you're presented in a way you've not seen before. But this level in particular is one of my favourites in the game. I just want more of this. I want more Max Mustard. Of course, when it comes to platformers, at the end of each zone you want a good boss battle to tackle on. So here we can see the first one is Krabby McCrabface, and each of these boss battles are generally Max doing some platforming or dodging mechanics, and then you're given the plunger gun and you've got to do some defense for Max and then take down the boss by firing the bomb back at him. It's a format what's similar across the game. There's not a massive amount of variety, but it's still fun and enjoyable. This is one of the areas Toast Interactive could really expand on within the future, and hopefully for the sequel of Max Mustard, where you can have a lot more variety in interactions and have Max doing more, because at this point you are just stood with Max while you're firing the gun, and you are just firing the bombs back at most of the enemies. But up until the end boss battle, where there's a slightly different mechanic, but I won't spoil that. Most games will always have a negative point. There's very few what get away with a perfect score. For Max, the biggest one for me is the camera movement. As you can see right here, sometimes you've got to really strain your head upwards to see the platforms and where Max is going. It would be good if the camera kind of lifted up to Max level a little bit, or sometimes when you might have just gone past a certain point and you want to backtrack, and bringing Max to the front of the camera, it could do with moving the camera backwards, because it's sometimes you're too close to Max and to the level, and it can be a little bit off-putting at times, but it's not a major issue. It's just I wish it had a better camera system or a free movement system. It would just give that bit more of a freedom when you're looking around the environment. Max Mustard is full of really great ideas, and it's got a great foundation for hopefully a franchise going forward. Is it to the same level of Astrobot? Not really. The thing with Astrobot is it really gets that nostalgia from all the different references for other games throughout PlayStation history. What Max could do in the future is maybe do some collaborations with other indie developers and get references to other indie games within Max Mustard. This could really get that kind of similar feel to what Astrobot achieves when you get that nostalgia from getting the references to other video games. There's like a Frogger level on here, which that's got that kind of feel to it, but we need more. We need more of that feeling, more of that nostalgia would really kind of drive home how cool Max is. This game really does have charm, and Max is a great character, but again, there's more they could do with Max. For example, you can wave at Max, but it's just the one standard animation where Max waves back. Maybe a couple of different animations. Or there's one section got Max really close to the camera, and I wanted to high five Max. I tried so hard, but there is no interaction. but that would be just kind of cool. It's a VR AF mechanic where you could high-five Max. And the same, there's an idle animation for Max where she looks around, but it's just the one idle animation. Have a bit more variety. Maybe at one point Max could just pull out a VR headset and then stand looking around as if she's playing VR for a moment. It's just these little things add more charm. This game has charm, it just needs more charm. It needs more things what make Max fantastic. Another example is the enemies. There's only a few different enemy types within the game. But there's one level where one of the enemies is wearing like a crocodile knitted head suit, and it's that kind of variety. It's the same enemy, but it's got that variation. That's another thing they could have expanded more on. I want more of this. I want more original features or variety to really make Max stand out. Max is a great character. I'm really loving my time with this game. I just want more. I want more interaction, more charm. Like many gamers, I love a good platformer. There's just not enough VR platform games out there. And with the absence of a new Astro Bot, does Max fill those shoes? Not quite. Max's shoes are different. They've got jetpack boosts. But different is also good. It might not beat Astro, but it's a good companion to go alongside one of the greatest platformer games we've had in VR so far. Max is filling a gap left by Astro Bot at the moment, and I would recommend it to anybody who's a fan of platform games. It's an enjoyable, fun experience, and I just can't wait for more adventures. I was always a ketchup guy, but I think I'm going round to the side of mustard. I love it.